Okay, so back up just a titch. Okay, so you're saying now that if I have rules in my own home,
Mhm.
I am abusing children.
No, you're an adultist.
But how is an adult?
You're oppressing children.
I'm oppressing children.
Yeah.
Okay, please tell me more.
Well, I just learned this from Moms for Liberty, that this has infiltrated, and I'm using the words on purpose. It has infiltrated our school systems after looking into this adultism. Found out that there's a school in Missouri who had a like one of those teacher meetings, professional development meetings where they learned to combat their own adultism going on. And that's where adults impose their will on children through rules, through consequences, through grades, through that we oppress adults, meaning we oppress young people by giving them parameters and guidelines to live through because we're controlling them and not allowing them to express themselves.
Okay, so when you say it's infiltrated,
Mm-hmm.
so does this mean that the teachers are being indoctrinated?
Absolutely. They are being they're being taught this, given this as a tool. What is it called? It's in the abolitionist toolkit, actually, too. And according to Moms for Liberty, it's in the abolitionist toolkit. And so, yeah, teachers, education programs are teaching future teachers to be aware of and how to combat and how to ally. And that word is a sticking point for me when they say, we ally with children, we're going to be an ally to the children. It's like that just screams grooming to me. And it to me, no, it's not to me. This is what it is. It's a way to build more wedges and division with families because we're already in California. You can't even get your 12-year-old kids' medical records. You don't have access to those. In California, that's a thing.
So
And
why should I have to pay for anything that I don't have any safe over, that I don't have any
yeah, why do you have to
why
pay
am
for
I
your child's
why am I responsible for any of this if I actually have no authority over any of this?
because the state is now responsible. The state gets to, and I don't mean the state of California, I mean government is now going to be in charge of taking care of your kids. That's why that whole it takes a village to raise a child is getting lost on me now because I don't want the village raising, you know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
yeah, I want my village, like you were saying, that I choose my village to help me raise my child. I don't want the state coming in, the government telling me how to raise my kids and
Well, I
what I
think
do with them.
one of the differences that I can see with that analogy is that when we say it takes a village, that is a community that I am part of.
Right,
When you're
right.
talking about the state, I am
Mm-hmm.
not a part of that procedure. I am not a part of any of the decision making.
Right.
And so for me to be held accountable for anything that this child does when I can't have my own rules, I can't have my why do I pay for something that I'm not responsible for? Like I don't understand this at all. Um,
Well, I think it's further demonstration of the division that's being sown in the country. And I know that's a whole different political thing that we really don't want to get into, but it just seems you can't talk about anything anymore without it being political. But I do see that they're trying to create division, and by they I mean there are Democrat Socialists of America, the DSA, which is taking over the Democrat Party. They admit it, they know it. That's not a secret. That's not a bone of contention. That's a fact. So when you see these socialists who are trying to impose more and more socialist will on people, and you see it coming into the classroom, and what better group of people than America's youth to take
well,
up a cause like socialism and start fighting the establishment, fighting. And I'm not saying don't fight the establishment, because sometimes the establishment needs to be knocked down a peg, but you have to do it with reason. You can't just go in willy-nilly and um, with half-baked ideas and saying, well, I don't like that people go to prison. Well, nobody does, but there have to be prisons so people learn to stop. And if they don't learn to stop, then they'll be in prison a little longer, you know. But there have to be rules. We have to all agree on rules to live by, how we can live as a civil society. Um, and so I think they're trying to take more and more of that away and cause chaos. And now you've got children who are going to start fighting against their parents. Well, you're not the boss of me. You know what? You're right. I'm not. Go live out on the streets, you know? Like you were saying, it's like,
Well,
why am I responsible for this person and letting them live in my house if I can't guide them into becoming a healthy, productive, civil member of society?
right. Well, the whole indoctrination, propaganda, um, there's no other way no other thing to call it other than like hate material, hate, like, where we are righteously whatever, and we like Hitler didn't invent kindergarten, but he sure made use of it.
Right. And that's what I fear is happening here. There are like, and this guy, what did I say his name was? Adam something or other. Adam
Flasher, flash,
Fleischer,
something
what
like
is it?
that, I think.
Fletcher, Adam Fletcher. Now he's been onto this for quite a while, since the 90s. Um, and I read an article where the guy was saying that there's not enough attention on adultism yet. There aren't novels being written, there aren't stories being written, there aren't movies about it. So this John Bell, who wrote this article I was reading, he was saying that it is his mission to bring more attention to it and get it out there for people to know what it is and understand it. And what better way to put it in the hands of teachers who, oh my gosh, I don't want to oppress children. I'm here to help them. I'm not going to adult on them. Well, and then here we go,
I thought
misplaced.
misplaced for sure, and I didn't mean to interrupt, but I
Yeah,
could have sworn I read something somewhere, and this has been a while, so it's in the you know recesses of my mind now. But the that the whole that whole purpose originally had something to do with preventing child pornography and
yes, yep,
sexual
yep.
exploitation of children, which of course, well, now we have there is the push that no, it's okay for children to be sexual beings, and like we're not going to get into that.
Well, and that's a kind of a component of this is they're giving children, again, like we've been talking forever, they're giving children this power and this authority that they are not ready to handle.
I think it's really interesting that we talk about um, like adults will tell me, like, oh, I was in the middle of a rage. I didn't have the capacity anymore to use logic because I was just so
Mm.
overrun with emotion, and I'm like, bingo, ding 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 ding, congratulations, you won the prize. How do you think a 3-year-old feels in the middle of a meltdown, and you're trying to logic with a 3-year-old? Even when they're not in a meltdown, they do not have the mental capacity for logic.
See, and that's adultist right there. You having said that, we assume that babies and toddlers, 3-year olds don't have the
Would
capacity to
would you
reason.
like some science behind this? Would you like
Those
some MRI
scientists
studies? Would you like some?
those scientists, according to what I'm finding here, and I'm not going to attribute this to Mr. Fletcher, but I like being just through just kind of running through all of this info right now, that is adultist, is to the scientists have all been wrong. They're feeding us misinformation. They're the behaviorists out there, the classic behaviorists, they're wrong. They don't know. They're spreading misinformation about
Okay, so
child
we're just
child
gonna be kind of like, okay, we're just gonna throw everything we know about the brain and cognitive development out because that's adultist, and just because a child can't even recognize the idea that something still exists when you can't see it,
Mhm.
that we're wrong.
Right. Yep.
Wow.
That is the contention. Yes. And again, there, like I've been saying, that pendulum swing, we're treating our young children like mini adults.
Oh, wow. The more
It's just, and in the name of protecting children, they're doing this. That's what's so insidious to me.
Oh, that's so scary because that actually is permissive parenting is a form of abuse. And they're pushing it to the place where it's not even permissive. This is actually neglectful.
Mm-hmm.
Neglectful is the most it's worse than physical abuse. It's worse than of all of
Yeah,
the
weren't you
abuses.
telling me this story about the Reese's Monkeys about the neglect? How's that?
Yes.
Oh, heart-wrenching. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And how
So
many times have we been told that, these teenage, and I've seen it. So, again, unless CERN gets loose and, um, there's another
oh, don't
Mandela
get me
effect
started that.
happening.
Oh my God.
But my experience, I see those teenagers who don't have that parental care, like the parents don't go to games and they don't show up and they're not doing these things. I see that hurting the kids and I see what's going on. So that's why a lot of us teachers, we go to the games for those kids to take the place of a parent, not to take the place of a parent, shouldn't have said it that way, but we're there to support those kids because they need some adult who cares for them. And
Right.
so that's why
Wait a
we're
minute.
mentors.
You're just you're proving
I
that you're an
know.
adultist.
I'm an adultist. Well, so there's personal adultism, the attitudes, opinions, beliefs, and actions every person takes that show bias towards adults. We're better than kids. Who really? Ugh,
To me, better is I'm smarter because I've got a few years on them.
I'm
I've
experienced.
got the experience. I know that that stove is hot.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm capable of picking things up when a toddler can't. I'm capable of caring physically for a child. A child can't, you know? And okay, so then there's adult, I keep wanting to say autism, cultural adultism. That's the shared beliefs, joint actions, and common traditions within a classroom, school, and community that demonstrate, reflect, uplift, or ensure bias towards adults.
Okay, so
Structural,
what does this do for driver's licenses? What does this do for the age of consent? What does this do for
there it is, the age of consent. Well, let's knock that down now because you can't tell a kid that they can't have sex at age 9 if they want to have sex at age 9. That's adultist of you.
okay, why don't we just throw a little heroin in there too and call it
Why not?
good?
Why not? Who are we? Who are we to use our experience and expertise to tell a child they shouldn't do something?
If they're gonna knock down everything that science has proven and stuff, then I want my student loan debt wiped out because this is ridiculous. Why am
No
I
kidding.
paying for this if it's not
Hmm?
worth anything? Then if it's not worth
Right.
anything, I shouldn't have to pay, right? That's adultist or
Yeah.
somethingist.
Well, now adultism, not to be confused with adulting. Adulting is hard. Adultism is
apparently
abuse.
apparently is easy.
Yeah, yeah, very. So, and then there's finally structural adultism, the formal and informal systems, processes, organization, and outcomes of schools that ensure, reinforce, sustain, or transfer bias towards adults.
So basically, what they're saying is that there is no authority that you have to respect.
Right,
This
right.
is going to go really wrong.
Enter the world of socialism.
But even in socialism, like the authority that is they expect you to respect is the
But
government.
they don't tell you that part in Socialism 101. They just tell you all the goodies, all the free stuff. You get freedom of choice. You can do whatever you want. But then when they come to realize, oh, wait a minute, I just traded my parental um, caregiver adults in for government adults. Yeah, they don't tell you that part that, oh, it all sounds great. Yeah, let's do this. Push back adultism. Yeah. And then they realize, oh, wait, now that just means government owns everything I do and tells me everything I can do. They don't see that this is a stepping stone to that.
Oh man.
Yeah. It sounds great on paper, doesn't it?
Well,
To
no,
protect
actually,
children from abuse, to protect children from sexual assault.
again,
Sounds
this
great.
it yes, that piece of it, but that's not even what they're talking about. The
Mm-mm.
idea that as an adult I might know more than a 3-year-old. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm offended. Can we be offended here? Can we pull the offended card?
I'm offended. I'm
Because
offended. Well, no, I don't think we're allowed. We've got a couple things going against us. We're
oh,
not
that's
allowed
right. We don't get to be offended. That's right. Yeah.
because we're adults.
I'm just gonna have to shut up and just, the message should be just parent, trust yourself,
Just parent, trust yourself.
stop leaning on all of these. I mean, like,
And you know
or
what? You hit the nail on the head the other day when vet your school boards because this is in your classrooms. If it's not in it right now, it will be this year because they've launched it in May of 2026. So you just watch. Find out what those PD sessions are that your teachers are going to, because I'll bet you dollars to donuts they're going to start talking about adultism. And if they don't name it, because they're really, really good at changing names of things.
right,
So nobody knows, oh, we're not teaching adultism here. This is inclusivity, or whatever their new
right. No, no,
buzzword
you're
is.
you're right. They recently changed all of the DEI stuff
Mhm.
so that because as we try to shift and get a little bit more common sense, then they're just shifting, and so now they're calling it other things as well. So
Yeah.
no, we just got our ballot information here, and I'm like, oh look, 3 school board members. We have to like. The other one
Yeah.
that I
Make
would
sure you know who
say
they are.
is it to vet and to have a little bit more say in is the judges.
Yes. People find it tedious to research those judges, but oh my gosh, I did. And I sent my recommendations on to the organization I belong to. But it's like, holy cow, yeah, those judges are. I really hope they do start holding the judges accountable when they let these people out to reoffend.
The so many things like that's something you probably don't want to get me started on, but yeah, that and the whole idea that they're in there for life. Um,
Yeah, I don't
like
I don't like that because what is it? Absolute power abuses absolutely or something.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Power abuses a little bit of power abuses a little bit. Absolute power abuses absolutely.
Absolutely.
And
And
yeah,
when you're in there for life, you know you can't be replaced. Why should I follow the rules now?
right. I kind of get to, you know,
The ethics committee isn't going to do anything. Yeah, so I'm under investigation by the ethics committee. So they're not going to do anything.
right,
Who
right.
cares?
And it is a very tight knit community, so they all, it's a circle. So
Mm-hmm.
we need to be paying more attention because it's funny we have the electoral college in place for top official,
Mm-hmm.
but we do not the one place where our vote really really counts locally. We don't take that seriously at all, and we really should.
Oh yeah, I remember when I was a young pup, I was just, oh, judge, yep, keep them all, because that's back when I thought, oh, judges are above reproach. Judges are legal beagles. They know what they're doing and they can be trusted. And wow, you find out the hard way that no, I
No,
mean, not me personally, but from watching things that I've seen happen, it's like, good gravy.
yeah, yeah, things that
You
you
should not be
yeah,
activists, just like your teachers should not be activists.
no, absolutely not.
You should
No.
not. I mean, teachers can have their druthers, but you don't talk about it in the classroom. I never did, which is so weird. I never did, but my students knew exactly who I was.
And
Like,
they will know us by our actions.
well, yeah, I guess, but I still
Well,
love that. I had a student tell me that she started going to church and converted to Christianity because of me. It's like, wow, thanks.
that's
Never talked to you
wonderful.
about Christianity at all, but apparently somehow the message got through.
Sounds like the best way.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and it's funny how, like, I was never allowed. You can't impart your morality on the students. Okay, I get that. yet why are so many people imparting their morality on the students? It's just I couldn't. But all right.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. It was like you don't touch that.
Yeah,
But
you don't talk about religion and you don't talk. Oh, and heaven forbid, we taught sinners in the hands of an angry God. We taught that in American literature. You can't teach about Christianity. It's like, it's a literature. It's a founding document of the United States, which was full of stuff from the Bible. The Constitution was written from verses in the Bible. It's a doctrine.
yeah, yeah,
People
I
don't
mean,
know that. People
we're
don't know that
we're and we're
church
really
separation of church and state is not in the Constitution. People don't know that.
um no, I mean like we you talked a little bit earlier about like the moral contracts we enter into as a society, and if you look at all of the major religions, including I'm going to throw paganism in there,
Mhm.
the rules of the code of conduct that they all adopted as civilizations are the same. Certain things we agree we're not going to do, and if we do them, we're going to be outcast and imprisoned and put to death, and all of these
Mhm.
consequences that come with it.
Mhm.
And the, I mean, like we've already taken away most of the consequences, so why bother with the rules, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we're
Right.
teaching kids is that, like you don't have to do anything because I'm not going to do anything about it.
Right. Right. And that's so dangerous. It's so dangerous. It is a disservice to the kids. And to me that's abuse. That's child abuse.
That's absolutely
When you
abuse.
don't teach them right from wrong, you are setting them up for a miserable life.
Yeah, yeah, it's ah, and just parent. Use some common
Yeah.
sense and just
Just
parent.
parent. Again, you know your kids best. If you're an adultist, be an adultist.
Be proud.
Be a proud adultist.
That's right. I'm a proud
Because
adult.
doggone it, you know your kid better than anybody else. And don't be shamed that somebody's telling you that you're oppressing your kid. It's like you're raising your kid.
Right. Just parent.